Quilla, can you at least fight back?
No. Why she not fighting?
At least something. At least fight back, something.
Get up, bro. Get up.
She went on vacation with her best friends. She never came home. Let that sink in for a second. Shanquella Robinson packed her bags, laughed with people she trusted, boarded a flight to Mexico, and within 24 hours of arriving, she was dead. And the people who were supposed to be her friends, they came home just fine. No injuries, no explanations, just a suitcase full of lies and a phone call that would shatter her mother's world forever. This is one of the most disturbing cases I have ever covered on this channel, and the more you dig into it, the worse it gets. So stay with me, because this story is going to take you through every emotion possible, and by the end, you're going to have questions that will follow you to sleep tonight. Before we go any further, if you are new here, welcome to Crime Files. Hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you never miss a story like this one, because the world needs to keep talking about Shanquella Robinson. Her name deserves to be remembered. Now, let's go back to the beginning. Shanquella Robinson was 25 years old. She was from Charlotte, North Carolina, and she was the kind of person who made every room feel warmer just by walking into it. She had graduated from Winston-Salem State University, a historically black university, where she had built friendships she believed would last a lifetime. She was entrepreneurial, she was driven, and she had a smile her family describes as something you could not forget once you saw it. Her mother, Salamandra, and her father, Bernard, raised her with love, and anyone who knew her will tell you the same thing. Shanquella Robinson had a bright future ahead of her. She was not just a girl who went on a trip. She was somebody's daughter, somebody's best friend, somebody's reason to smile on a hard day. She ran a hair business and was always looking for ways to grow it. She was social, she was fun, and she loved the people in her life deeply. That love, that trust, is honestly what makes this story so painful to tell, because the people she loved and trusted most in this world are the very people at the center of her death. In late October 2022, a trip was being planned. The destination was Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, a beautiful resort town with crystal blue water, luxury villas, and the kind of scenery that looks like a postcard. The trip was reportedly organized to celebrate a birthday within the group. The group consisted of Shanquella and 6 of her college-era friends, people she had known for years, people whose names she probably said with ease and familiarity, people she had absolutely no reason to fear. She called her mother before heading out one evening and told her she was going to get tacos. That was one of the last normal conversations they ever had. On October 28th, 2022, the group landed in Cabo San Lucas and checked into a luxury Airbnb villa inside the Puerto Los Cabos resort area. By all appearances, it looked like just another group of young friends living their best lives. Nice house, nice location, good weather. From the outside, nothing looked wrong, but something was already wrong. The 6 people who traveled with Shanquella were Dejani Jackson, who has since legally changed her name to Amani Green, Khalil Cook, who was considered Shanquella's closest friend and was so tight with her family that he would go on vacations with them, Malik Dyer, Winna Donovan, Alice Hyatt, and Nazir Wiggins. 6 people. All of them people Shanquella had known since her college years. All of them people she trusted with her life. And that trust ended up costing her exactly that. On October 29th, 2022, just one day after they arrived, everything fell apart. At around 2 in the afternoon, a doctor from a local medical center was called to the villa. The friends told the doctor that Shanquella had been drinking too much and was not feeling well. The doctor took one look at her and said she needed to go to the hospital immediately. The group refused. Think about that for a moment. A medical professional looked at your friend and said she needs emergency care, and you said no. You stayed at the villa. You did not get her help. Hours later, Shanquella began having violent convulsions. An ambulance was finally called. Paramedics arrived and worked on her desperately. 14 rounds of CPR, 5 doses of adrenaline, 6 electrical shocks from a defibrillator. They tried everything they had, but it was too late. At 5:57 in the evening on October 29th, 2022, Shanquella Robinson was declared dead. She had been in Mexico for less than 48 hours. Now here's where the story gets even more disturbing, because the moment she died, the people around her did not grieve. They constructed a story. They told the authorities she had been drinking. They told the doctor she had drunk too much. And then, one by one, they packed their bags and flew back to the United States. Back to their homes, their families, their normal lives. And Khalil Cook, the man described as Shanquella's closest friend, the man who was practically family, he called Salamandra Robinson, Shanquella's mother, and told her that her daughter had died of alcohol poisoning. He even had the nerve to bring her luggage back to the family's home. Salamandra Robinson buried her daughter, believing she had drunk herself to death. But then the video surfaced. About 2 weeks after Shanquella's death, a clip began circulating on social media. It was short, only about 20 seconds long, but those 20 seconds changed everything. The video showed a young woman, naked and completely defenseless, being beaten viciously inside what appeared to be the villa bedroom. The attacker, later identified as Dejani Jackson, was punching her in the face, the head, the neck, grabbing her by the hair, slamming her around, while other people stood in the room and did absolutely nothing to stop it. Some of them were recording. And in the background, a male voice could be heard saying the words that made people across the world stop cold. He said, "Quella, can you at least fight back?" She could not fight back. She was barely conscious. She was being destroyed by someone she called a friend, in front of people she trusted, thousands of miles from home, and not a single person in that room tried to help her. The lawsuit that was later filed revealed something even more chilling. During the attack, the group allegedly used FaceTime to video call Dejani Jackson's boyfriend, so he could watch the assault live. Live. They streamed it like it was entertainment. When that video hit the internet, the world erupted. The hashtag went viral overnight. Celebrities, politicians, civil rights leaders, and millions of everyday people demanded answers. The White House was even forced to respond, with Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre saying the administration's hearts went out to Robinson's family. Mexican authorities officially reopened the investigation, classified the death as a femicide, which is a Mexican legal term for the murder of a woman, and issued an arrest warrant for the person identified as a direct aggressor, believed to be Dejani Jackson. They even contacted Interpol to issue a global red notice, a worldwide alert to locate and detain the suspect. But here is where things went very quiet, very fast. You would think that with viral video, a Mexican arrest warrant, an Interpol red notice, and the attention of the entire country, justice would have been swift and certain. But what happened next is the part of the story that will truly make you question the system. The Mexican government formally requested the extradition of an American citizen connected to the attack. They sent the paperwork. They did everything through proper legal channels. And the United States Department of State never forwarded that extradition request to the International Affairs Office. It was never processed, which means it was never acted upon. The suspect stayed in the United States. Free. The FBI opened an investigation. Then in April 2023, they announced they were closing it. They said the available evidence did not support a federal prosecution. They said they could not prove beyond a reasonable doubt that a federal crime had been committed. There's a 20-second video of a woman being beaten while her friends watch and record. The FBI closed the case. The family was devastated but refused to stop. Attorney Sue Robinson, no relation to Shanquella, responded by saying they were disappointed but not deterred. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump joined the fight, and together they pushed for answers. In October 2024, on the second anniversary of Shanquella's death, her mother Salamandra filed a wrongful death lawsuit in Mecklenburg County Superior Court against all 6 travel companions, publicly naming every single one of them in a court filing for the first time. The lawsuit alleged battery, wrongful death, negligence, civil conspiracy, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Then in April 2025, Ben Crump filed a separate federal lawsuit, seeking $100 million in damages against both the FBI and the U.S. Department of State, accusing the agencies of negligence and a lack of diligence in investigating the death of an American citizen abroad. In June 2025, a federal judge dismissed the claims against the FBI and the State Department. citing sovereign immunity, meaning the government legally shielded itself from being sued. But the claims against the 6 travel companions remained alive. The judge later sent that portion of the case back to state court in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina, where it currently sits with no trial date set. Meanwhile, Dejani Jackson, who changed her name to Imani Green, filed court papers claiming self-defense, arguing the statute of limitations had expired and suggesting that Shanquella's own behavior provoked the attack. Private investigators hired by the family tried to serve her legal papers at a Connecticut address and reported seeing her car but never finding her home. The family's attorneys called her conduct deliberately evasive. The other Cabo Six members filed motions to have the entire case thrown out, arguing it should be tried in Mexico, not America, because that is where the incident occurred. As of February 2026, no one has been criminally charged. Not in Mexico. Not in the United States. Nobody has gone to jail. Nobody has been arrested. A 25-year-old woman was beaten to death in front of 6 people who all came home and went back to their normal lives, and not one of them has faced a single day of criminal consequence. So now I want to ask you something, and I really want you to sit with this. What does it do to a person to watch a friend being beaten and do nothing? Not just do nothing in the moment, but come home, construct a lie, hand the grieving mother a suitcase, and say her daughter drank herself to death? What kind of psychology allows a group of people to collectively decide that their own protection is worth more than the truth? Is that fear? Is that selfishness? Is that something darker that we do not have a clean word for? And what about the systems that were supposed to help? A State Department that lost a piece of paper. An FBI that looked at a video and said it was not enough. A government that granted itself immunity from being sued for how it handled the death of one of its own citizens. At what point do we stop being shocked by that and start demanding something different? Shanquella Robinson's parents have not stopped. They have been in court for over 2 years. They have watched every legal door get slammed in their faces, and they have gone and found another door. They are still standing, still fighting, still saying her name. The question that stays with me, and I think it will stay with you too, is this. If the roles were reversed, if it was the other way around, if Shanquella had been the one to walk away and someone else had died in that villa, how fast do you think justice would have moved? How long do you think it would have taken? 1 week? 2? Think about that. If this story moved you, if Shanquella's name means something to you now, do something simple but powerful, like this video. Share it. Subscribe to Crime Files and click the bell icon so you never miss a story that the world needs to hear. Because the least we can do for Shanquella Robinson is make sure nobody forgets her name. Her family is still fighting. The least we can do is make sure the world is still watching.